Next time you call the doctor's office, you'll probably be speaking to an AI. We're going to be building a tool today that lets the AI go from a voice note or a phone call to look into the doctor's office systems and book an appointment that meets your requirements. We'll build this with a Buildship workflow and then show you how to integrate it with any application.
More and more service businesses are integrating AI chatbots into their customer facing workflows. Things like being able to call and get the opening hours or even book a medical appointment. But it's great if you can talk to an AI and say they'll book something, but how do you actually make sure that that happens and goes into your systems accurately? So today we're going to build a voice to medical appointment tool that can be given to an AI to use to be able to make sure that you're able to book an appointment when the time is right. It takes as input a voice file. So we have this voice to appointment OGG. I'd like to schedule a consultation for either Tuesday or Wednesday afternoon, whichever's first, but anything except 2 to 3 p.m. on Wednesday. So this will just take the raw voice file. You could also send text. You can send whatever you want. There's a lot of different ways to make this work. But the output from that voice file is going to be the appointment type, requested date, the time window, and then the status and the calendar event link. We're going to use Google Calendar today, but you just need to move a few things around in the workflow to make sure that it's integrated with your existing system. You can find this template on buildship.tools. Come down to search and search for voice to medical. And you see a few different templates for voice to card, voice transcription, voice to voice translation. We're going to select voice to medical appointment. It'll bring you to this page, and then you just need to hit remix and select the project you want to build with. We've opened up the template and run a test by clicking on test panel, flow, uploading our voice file from the computer, and hitting run. This will go node by node and extract the text from the voice file here with Whisper Speech to Text. This is one of the nodes in our library. You can add a new node just by clicking here and typing in what you want. So here's the Whisper Speech to Text, for example. Or if you want a JSON generator to get something in the right format, just click on the node, it'll add it to the workflow. We've referred to the voice file here. You can just type in voice and it will go to the input. You can also reference the inputs from the variable here and select a response format and timestamp. We'll leave this as is. The next step is from that extracted transcription, which you can see here, we need to get the appropriate outputs. We need the date, requested time window, and urgency level, and then a structured time window with the start and end times. We use the schema here to make sure that the AI is outputting exactly what we need every time so that it's very easy to go into our existing systems. If we just asked it to come up with the urgency level and structured time window without JSON, it would be hard to work with as text. So we give it some instructions to tell it what its job is and the expected format and what each of these fields mean. And then we give the input of the transcription text and then the default duration to be 30 minutes, which we could always change if we needed to. You will likely need to come into these instructions and make sure that the variables you need to go into your systems, whatever you need, are exactly the format that you have existing. So that's probably where you're going to need to change the most is in the instructions and the schema here in this node. Next, we have our Google Calendar node. This checks the availability on Google Calendar. We are logged in now with just a Google Calendar account. You can log in using the thumb icon for whichever account you have your Google Calendar with. If you need a different calendar service, you can add the node from the library or build the node. If you know the API you want to use, you can always come into the code itself by clicking on that little code icon and update the JavaScript here. So these are Lego blocks. You can exchange each of them, and it's kind of like having a 3D printer for Lego blocks because you can build any node that you want. So for checking the availability, you have the slot start and end dates based on the matching slots that you've put in with some available slots here that will then compare against the voice note in the schedule planner. So now that we have these available slots from the calendar, we ask another agent to be the scheduling assistant to book the medical appointment. So it's going to choose the best appointment slot from the available options. As an input, we give it the user request that we extracted, as well as the available slots that we extracted as well. Notice that we are using AI a few different times, once to extract the transcription from the voice file, another to extract structured data we can work with, and then again to actually schedule the right slot. So instead of giving it one big problem to solve, you can give it small and predictable tasks that you're able to break down small enough to make sure that you are able to get what you want out every time in the schema that you need to be able to work with your existing systems. So once we do that schedule planning, we schedule the meeting, entering in these fields here, things like the calendar ID, the title and description of the meeting, and the start and end time. We then construct a final output here, which basically just takes each of the different JSONs that we've created and structured an output so that it's ready to put into our systems. And there you have it. It's just 5 or 6 nodes. It's really not a complex workflow, but it is a good structure for you to go and put voice as a tool for your chatbot to be able to book appointments. This should be a good enough starting point for you. An important thing to remember is to make sure that the schema is what you actually need for your systems. And that if you are using something other than Google Calendar, maybe you have an existing scheduling tool, being able to make sure you have the right nodes to use here. If you don't see the right node available in the node library and you use a different calendar tool, reach out to us. We can help you build that integration. But you can also always build with AI. Just give it some details about the API specification, and it will help you build a node. So now we know that we can book a medical appointment. So finally, we get the output. We have the consultation, the requested date, some more unstructured data that we can use to make sure that we have the right thing. And then we have a calendar event link. We can always take this calendar event link and send it via email to the customer. Here's a message that can be sent with it. Now that we know that this is working, we can just ship it and get it out into the real world. So building these workflows is one thing, but how do we use it? Buildship handles all of the deployment for you. You just have to click ship. You don't have to worry about the infrastructure. It's a very good way to orchestrate your systems without having to build something totally new just to integrate AI. So think of Buildship as the arrows between all of your different systems, and it handles those connections for you. Within 15 to 20 seconds, this is shipped and ready to go. We can just come to the Connect tab now, and this can be integrated via JavaScript, via Python, any other way that you want to do it into your existing workflows. You can give this to an OpenAI agent. You can give this to an MCP agent for Claude MCP, for example. Very easy to set up with any of those. If this tool trigger isn't what you're looking for, we have other triggers. You can call this via a REST API call, which is something that is like 11 Labs and a lot of the existing agents on the market use today. Or you can trigger this anytime you get a new Stripe payment. For example, if you want them to pay before they set up an appointment. You can have this as part of your WhatsApp bot. There's a lot of different ways to integrate this into your existing workflows. So you should have everything you need to integrate this tool to go from voice note to medical appointment. Thanks for your time. Happy building, and reach out if you have any questions.